Hey friends, welcome to another video. The Simon Hurley Create Stamping Foam is back in stock, and I'm so excited today to share some stamping techniques using dies, and also a few that you haven't seen before. So without further ado, let's get into the video. If you guys haven't seen all the basics of stamping foam, I'll walk through some of them in today's video, but I have a whole playlist which I'll link to up here where you guys can watch and get started for a bunch of inspiration with your foam. But basically it comes in a pack of 4, and it's a heatable, moldable foam to create some really cool DIY stamped images. Now I recommend that you use an acrylic block when you're using your stamping foam, because when you press on this it's kind of squishy, so you want kind of an even surface that's a little bit harder that's going to give you a nice even pressure. So these are the Simon Hurley Create acrylic blocks. You can use whatever acrylic blocks you have, but this larger one fits the stamping foam pretty much perfectly. So I'm going to grab a little bit of mint tape to attach it. I do recommend that you tape it onto the surface like this. That way you can really quickly transfer it down without having any lag time in between of you grabbing your acrylic block, because it's already attached together. So this makes it really nice and easy to get some even pressure. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it gets the job done. Alright, now for the first image, I'm going to use a cover plate die. This one happens to be from Altenew. It's called ORNATE, and it's got a ton of amazing detail here that we can capture. So I'm going to place my die down onto my work surface, and then we're going to heat our stamping foam. I like to use the Ranger heated craft tool because it's got a larger surface to kind of disperse the heat a little bit more evenly. And we're just going to heat it for 10 to 15 seconds. And like I said, I like it because it's quiet. It heats up just the same amount as the other hot heat tools do. But this one, like I said, is going to keep the heat more all over the foam, which I really like. So once it's nice and evenly heated, we can go in and without hesitation, do this part really quickly before it starts cooling down. We're going to press it into our die here and kind of rock it back and forth to get that detail. And when we lift it off, you can see that really nice even pressure that we got because of the hard acrylic block surface. And we got a really great image with tons of detail in the background. Now I'm going to start applying a little bit of color down, and I'm going to use my Simon Hurley Create ink pads. Now to do this, I always recommend that you kind of rub the ink pads onto the surface in a circular motion like this instead of tapping it down. We're kind of going against everything you know about stamping because you usually tap the ink pad down onto the surface. But for this, I find that rubbing the ink on the surface gets a lot smoother of an application of colors, and it's easier to kind of blend the colors together like this, and also not get it into all of the little recessed areas, because we just kind of glide the ink over the surface, and wherever it's got that image in there, it's not going to take as much ink. So that's why I kind of swipe it on. Alright, now this is something I've been testing out lately, and it's one of those plant watering spray bottles where you can put your water in and get a really fine mist over your plants. And I've noticed that some people have a really hard time getting a super even and fine mist, and that's what we want over top of this. So I recommend this if you've been struggling with that a little bit. So all I need to do is just kind of hold down the sprayer. It's going to be a continuous mist. I'm going to spray it down and just kind of keep the spray bottle moving across the surface, and you're going to get a nice mist over top of the whole surface like that. Get everything covered, but there's no globs of water anywhere, which is really quite nice. Give it some good pressure so that everything transfers. And there we have our beautifully transferred down image. The die provides a bunch of littler thin line detail, which I think is super cool because you can't get that with a stamp or anything else, and it kind of provides a whole nother life for your die to stamp with it. Now I'm going to spray this down again with a little bit of a fine mist, and we'll go in with another piece of my stark white cardstock, because sometimes you can get a few images out of one inking. So I'm going to press this down and you get a lighter, more watercolor image, but I love that one just as much. It creates kind of a whole different vibe than the darker colors. Now we can keep this image as long as we want in here, but if we want to restart and do another image on top, we can go in with our heat it tool, start heating up our stamping foam again, and in about 10 to 15 seconds, this image should go away and leave us with a flat foam that we can use again for another image. No magic involved there. It really is that simple, and then we can move on to our next one. Alright, now moving on to the next card, I want to share a more unique way to use the dies. So I've shared before that you can't really do sentiments because you need them mirrored. but I think I found a way around that and I wanted to share it. So I'm using this All About You word die set, and I'm going to use the little word hello from it and go die cut this a few times in my die cutting machine. So welcome back to everyone's favorite segment, me awkwardly die cutting in the background of my videos, and I'm gonna cut this out about 2 to 3 times to get a little bit of layering. All right, and then to adhere these together for a little bit of dimension, I'll just go in and add a little bit of liquid adhesive all over the word dies, and then I'll place it on top of each other like this. It doesn't matter if it's lined up right away, because we'll go in, and with a little bit of wiggle room that we have with our liquid adhesive, I kind of pinch it lightly on the sides to line all of the letters up perfectly. I'm gonna grab my acrylic black because this is the size of kind of that stamping foam, and then I'm gonna go in with some dyes. These are dyes from an Altenew set called Sakura Blossom, but you can find ones that have a little bit of texture and detail in them. I find that that's pretty cool, and then we can kind of build our scene around here, kind of keeping in mind where everything's gonna be by holding the acrylic block in place like this. Once I got the scene how I like it, I'm gonna go in with my heat tool again and heat this for 10 to 15 seconds till it's good and hot. And once that's done, we can go in and press our stamping foam on top to get our scene. And once that's all complete, we've got ourselves a little scene on here, as well as our sentiment that's right in the center. So let's color this in and see how it looks all stamped down. All right, so I'm gonna go over the whole thing with a little bit of yellow ink, and I'm just going to lightly graze it over so that we can get all of those details still, and the hello is gonna stay clean of our ink. And then we can go in with our detail blending tools and color in the rest. I like 2 different kinds. I like these ones from Altenew that are brushes at the end. And then also these ones from Ranger are double-sided, and they're a great value, and you can apply ink down really easily with them as well. So first I'm gonna go into the center of the flowers with a little bit of Prom Queen, and we'll just bring that right in the center there and kind of fade it out. And we'll do the same on the other flower, and that's why I like these little brushes, because they're really easy to kind of fade out the colors into the others. And to deepen it up, we'll bring in just a little tiny bit of Crown Me purple right into the center of those flowers to darken everything up a little bit. Then for the greens, I'll go in with a tiny bit of Tropical Tango on my little detail blender and bring that in to add a little bit of shading and dimension to the green. The really cool part about these little blenders is you can even go in on the sides and get into the tiny, tiny little areas, like little stems of leaves or things like that, which is super helpful. And then lastly, we'll bring in a little bit of traffic cone right along the edges to add a little bit of darkness and kind of draw your eye towards the center of the background. You guys know I like doing this if you've seen my videos before. I find that it adds a little bit of depth and dimension, and I'll do the same thing right around the sentiment too. All right, then to spray this down, I'll go in this time with my Distress sprayer to show how this one works. I like to hold it from a little bit of a distance so I get a really nice fine mist, and then you're going to want to just pull the sprayer fully down, and it's gonna give you the finest mist possible so you can get some water on your project to make it transfer better. So like I said, both sprayers work. Just if you have trouble with the Distress sprayer, try the other one. I love how this turned out with all the different blending and shading that we added, but also by die cutting out that sentiment and laying it down, it's gonna give us that full sentiment and not a mirrored image. So you can do it with any sort of die cuts that you have, and it gives a completely different look than that little fine line. So I think it's really cool to do that too. All right, to finish this one off, I'm just gonna add some simple little gems in the center of the flowers. So I just pick it up with this really handy little jewel picker, add a little bit of liquid adhesive, and then we can place it down really easily. And this thing, the jewel picker, makes it really easy to pick these up and place them simply on your cards. I feel like the little touch of embellishments and dimension that those gems add really finished this card off beautifully. It was super simple since we did a lot of the work in the actual stamping with the sentiment and the flowers together like that. Now let's move on to a different type of cover plate. This one is a Slimline cover plate, and it's from scrapbook.com. It's got this beautiful sunburst on it. This is a great way to use your Slimline die in a whole new way because we're going to make it the size of our A2 size stamping foam. But also we're going to flip it over because sometimes have fun cutouts like this, and this flat area instead of the different pointed lines is going to give us a whole different look from our die. We'll bring in our heat tool and heat this up for 10 to 15 seconds again. And once again, after it's heated, I like to be pretty quick with it and place it right down. And there we have that beautiful sunburst there. And one of the myths with the stamping foam is that you need the image super deep into here. You can see that it's not really deep onto there, but even these littlest grooves are gonna give you that detail, and I'll show you in just a second as we ink it up here. All right, now this time I'm gonna go in with my colors, and I'm gonna use my ink blending tools to apply the color to the surface. Here I'm gonna start off with a little bit of slippery when wet, and go in starting at the bottom. And you can see that instead of using the ink pad, you could totally use the blending tool and get just as much color down on the surface, but it gives you a more detailed application to use this smaller blending tool. And then we'll move into traffic cone, which is a nice bright orange color from my line. And we'll start blending in and kind of fading these colors together. And also you get a really nice smooth and effortless blend with these blending tools too. And we'll continue down the line with our colors. Here we're gonna bring in a little bit of Prom Queen. Once this is all inked up, we can go in with our spray bottle again. And once again, you're gonna wanna go still kind of farther away from your actual image here, but we can go in and just really quickly mist that down. You can get a little bit of spray onto there with some water and stamp it down onto the surface. All right, so there we have our first image, and depending on how much water you have is gonna kind of depend on if the lines leak together or not like that. But then we can go in again, really kind of lightly mist over top of the surface there. Then we'll bring in another piece of our cardstock and stamp it down. And there we go. Once again, it gives a whole different look with that second tone. Sometimes if you use a little bit less water, it'll actually keep a little bit more of that detail. So get two different prints and two totally different effects as well. All right, so let's finish off this card, and I have a tip for you guys for cutting down these panels. So sometimes you might not have stamped them straight fully onto your cardstock because that's really difficult to do. So I like to take the edge of my stamping and line it up with this edge right here on my trimmer. So you'll see I'm going to just place down the guide and line it up with the edge of my card or whatever I stamped, and then cut it down. And I'll do the same thing on all sides. Make sure that the edge of your stamping is completely touching the edge of that guide, and then cut it. This is gonna give me a really even border on all four sides, and no matter what angle it's at as you cut it, you just make sure that it's lined up with that, and you're gonna get a perfect cut on all four sides there to mat it onto a different color cardstock. All right, and the cool thing about cutting that die cut earlier is I can use it on this card here. So we'll just take my layered die cut that I've already created and place it down onto this card for something really easy and beautiful. All right, then I'm gonna go into the Flower Picking Friend stamp set, and I'm just gonna use the little My Friend sentiment, and we will stamp it down. And the grid lines on our block really help me to line everything up and make sure that it's perfectly straight. Yellow, white. Okay, everyone likes yellow? Okay, fine, we'll do yellow.
Is this all you had to call me for? You said you had tea. Which is tea?
No, that was the tea. I've been literally going back and forth on that for like 10 minutes. All right, so I finished this card off really quickly and easily by just putting it onto a yellow card base. And I love how simple this was by taking that hello die that we used on the other card and adhering it onto here to finish it off. All right, for another example, I'm taking my stamping foam, heating it up, and then I will stamp it down right onto the cutting side of my die here. This one is a fun little Moroccan pattern from Altenew. And you can see that really awesome detail that this one gives. I love it. And I like that with the die cuts, like you get that extra layer in there. You see where that little bit of metal is in there. You get that in this too. It really captures every little detail, which is really cool. And I'm gonna do this same technique, pressing the first color down. Here I'm using a little bit of Clear Skies. And then for the top color, I'm going to use a little bit of that Midnight Snack again, and just really lightly go over the top to only get the second layer to ink up. This is stamping without any water because I know I get questions about that sometimes, so I want to try it here. I know that sometimes it doesn't transfer the ink as well onto the surface, but if you give it time enough there, it's going to give you still a beautiful stamped result on our background there. A little bit different of a look. It's not as watercolory as some of the backgrounds, but I actually love how crisp it is when it stamps down. So you still can get really beautiful effects without spraying it with water. All right, to finish off this last card, I'm going to pull out the Snowflake Ornament die from Brutus Monroe. I love all of the amazing detail and dimension that these provide, and I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. All right, and again, I'm going to run this through 2 to 3 times to give it a little bit of dimension while we're die cutting. All right, so I'm just going to layer these dies together with, again, a little bit of liquid adhesive, just pinching some of the edges to get all of those details all lined up. All right, and then this top layer, I'm going to use a little bit of glitter cardstock, and again, just line it up pretty easily. And this is just going to give the top layer a little bit of sparkle and dimension to it. Now, I honestly just thought of this. Before I adhere this down onto any cards, I want to use a little stamping foam to get an impression of it so I can create a little background with it, which I think would be cool. So I'm going to go in again with my heated craft tool. All right, so I'll press that into my stamping foam, giving it some good pressure there. And once that's complete, we'll have that really cool texture in the center of that ornament. All right, here I'm going to bring in a little bit of guppy to start off, a little bit of that orange color. Then I'll go in with a little bit of bee sting, and I'm going to bring that up from the bottom of the image here. And last but not least, we'll bring in a little bit of Game Over right at the bottom to blend it all together. I'm going to then stamp it down, giving it good pressure, and lift off to reveal that beautiful ornament that we've created. I love how this one looks, and I can honestly see making several cards like this. All right, so for this, I'm actually gonna go in and I'm gonna leave a little bit of that colored border all around the image as I cut it out like this, but I just want to get a little bit more detailed around the edge with my cut. So I'm going in with my Fiskars Spring Assist scissors. I like these because they kind of spring back out at you, so they make it really easy to cut and not get your hands tired, and also get into lots of little details. All right, to finish this off, I took the same cover plate die and cut it out of the same color cardstock for a tone-on-tone effect on our card base. And then I'm going to adhere our ornament right on top with a little bit of foam tape for some dimension. All right, then I'm gonna take the sentiment which says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. This is from the Snazzy Snowman stamp set. I love this one and all the sentiments inside of it. And I'm gonna do something that I've been doing quite a bit lately with rounded images. I'm gonna take the sentiment and kind of round it a little bit. That's the really awesome part about photopolymers, that you can bend it and put it at just a little bit of a curve if you want to. Then I'll stamp this down onto my stark white cardstock, give it a little bit of pressure there. All right, so I've adhered that sentiment down to finish it off and added a few gems onto the ornament, and I think that finishes it really nicely. So stamping that down with the die cut creates that really awesome image on our card that you of course couldn't get without the stamping foam, which I think is super cool. All right, now I want to adhere this down onto this card, but I think it's a little bit too busy as is. And a couple people in the comments have asked me what these border dies are around some of the images. I know Brutus Monroe includes these a lot in their die sets, but it creates a really awesome shadow, which I'll show you right now. Now there's of course a couple ways to create the shadow, but today I'm going to remove it from the background entirely to create a nice white space. But of course you could also cut this out of vellum to create a really nice shadow too. So I'll tape that die down where I want the ornament to be exactly on our card, and then we'll run it through our die cutting machine. So then you get 2 pieces. Of course, we can save this piece for another card, which I think is really awesome. But then it allows this to have this window so that the ornament can really shine with nothing behind it, which I think is amazing. All right, so I finished it off with the Happy Holidays from Our Home to Yours, which is from the Posh Poinsettas stamp set. And I really love how this card turned out. Using that shadow die to create that really awesome standout snowflake, which we stamped on the other card. And then this background is just stunning from one of the dies that we used along with our stamping foam. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I loved it. Leave me a comment down below on which technique or card was your favorite from today's video. The stamping foam is now back in stock too, so I'll link that down below as well for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button down below to never miss another card making video like this one from me. Alright guys, I'll see you very soon in another card making video. Have a great day. Bye!